Should you go watch the Fantastic Four First Steps? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend the movie. So I just came back from watching the Fantastic Four and gotta say, it was a little less than fantastic. You see, I haven't read any Fantastic Four comics. Actually, the only Fantastic Four media I have consumed is the 2015 Fan Four Stick movie. You know, the one with that one scene.
Gotta say, it's fantastic.
Say that again?
And that movie was so bad, it was the first time my little child brain registered what a bad movie was. It was so bad, it was the first time I realized that movies could be bad. I saw some snippets of reviews saying it was like a 10 out of 10, Marvel's back, this is one of the best Marvel movies I've ever seen. So I was like, okay, cool. A great movie, I love great movies. And Marvel hasn't really been hitting recently. The only movie I remember being great is Thunderbolts. So I came into this movie thinking it was going to be the best thing they've released in a while. However, I was somewhat let down by this movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but there are definitely some problems with it. I like that it's a standalone movie. You don't need to know that much about the MCU to enjoy it. The theme of family is very profound, and fortunately the best part of the movie is the family, the Fantastic Four. I really enjoy the dynamic between each member of the team. It's really fun to watch any scene with them. Although, I can't really say I enjoyed every member equally. I really like Sue Storm, she's like the best written character in the movie. Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm have really good chemistry. Johnny Storm's really funny, he's really charismatic. I would have liked it if they delved deeper into, how like Ben feels about turning into the Thing. There are some scenes that reveal his internal conflict subtly, but overall he felt like, that best bro shoulder to lean on type of character for Reed and the rest of the family, but mostly just Reed. And talking about Reed, I don't know how I feel about Pedro Pascal's Reed Richard. Pedro Pascal makes his voice like really nasally to sound like nerdier, because I guess Reed Richards is smart, so he would sound like a nerd. I guess that's what Pedro was thinking. He just sounded really nasally. But also, the Reed in the movie is kind of dumb. There's like some solutions he comes up with that are like smart, but there are other times where he's just downright stupid. If I'm able to predict the plan from the smartest man in the universe, that dude is not the smartest man in the universe. I really like the relationship between Sue Storm and Reed Richards though. Most of the emotional moments in the movie would not work without them, so good job there, but I still think Reed Richards is pretty dumb. Also, speaking of dumb, I think Galactus gets beaten in the movie in the most dumb way possible. I thought they would defeat him in some clever way. Nope. Kind of underwhelming. Galactus was just also kind of a mad villain. You get a little snivel of why Galactus does what he does, but it's not enough for the audience to understand him. He just felt kind of like a force of destruction, which was just really boring. It also made, like, his conclusion so much more underwhelming. Moving on to the other fantastic part about this movie, the music. The score in this movie is top tier. The Fantastic Four theme is extremely good because it's extremely memorable. I feel as if Marvel's been missing some memorable superhero music. Like, come on, try humming me the freaking Hulk theme or the freaking Thor theme. Like, you just can't do it. Or I can't do it. I also really like the look and feel of this movie. The retro futuristic setting is done really well, and some of the shots are incredible. The CGI in the trailer doesn't do this movie justice, because they actually fixed a lot of the CGI problems in the final product. So it's really cool to see. There's also not a lot of action in this movie, but I think the movie does a really good job at building the characters and the world and the conflict, so that when you do get action at the end of the movie, it's really rewarding. Now back to the bad stuff. The way the movie transitions is so odd. The beginning of the movie is extremely fast-paced, with some pretty questionable editing because the movie starts off with a montage of the Fantastic Four's origin, and the cuts in that montage are extremely abrupt. And what's more disorienting is that the movie jumps forward in time a lot, but by the end of the movie, it slows all the way down, and the story kind of starts falling apart. Like, for example, Silver Surfer's character arc is kind of rushed at the end, and again, the way they beat Galactus is so silly. So I think it wraps up in a pretty dumb way. Overall, I would consider it a good Marvel movie, but not quite a fantastic Marvel movie. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10.